Hello, everyone, and welcome to our today's session, which is Apache AGE and the synergy effect in the combination of Postgres and NoSQL. In this session, I'll be talking mostly about Apache AGE and how it is related to Postgres, and also what it can bring to you as a user and as a community. So to get started basically on this session, what I want to share with you first is the agenda of today's session to give you a better perspective of what to expect from this session. So I'll give you a quick background on myself, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the graph databases and the benefits and some of the use cases of graph databases. Then we're going to focus on Apache AGE as an open source project, and we're going to check out and we're going to see that what is Apache AGE and what this project and how this project can benefit you and what it can bring basically to your project or to your business. And also, we're going to talk about the current status of this project and the activity that is going on among the community of this project. And also at the next section of this session, we're going to deep dive to the technical perspective of this project. We're going to take a look at the AGE architecture and the AGE roadmap, and also the ecosystem surrounding this project. And at the end, also, as I mentioned, this is an open source project, so I will share with you how to contribute to this project. So if you are interested, you can just easily become a contributor and join us through this journey. So before we get started, I just want to thank you all again for being here, and I hope you enjoyed this session, and it is a really honor and pleasure to have you today. At the end of this session, we do also have a 10-minute dedicated time for a Q&A. So please feel free to write down your question, or also you can just send it through the chat box, and we will make sure to answer any question that you have by end of this session. So my name is Eya Badal Abisho, and I'm a technical engineer working on Apache AGE Project. I am responsible for the implementation, also for the consultation of this project. So feel free to email me with any questions that you have or with any information that you need. And again, I'll make sure to answer any questions that you have. So to get started, for today's session, let's take a look at graph databases, and let's see what is a graph database and why do we even talk about it, and why do we need it. So as you know, we are living in a really highly connected world, and all the data that we have in today's world, it's all connected, and sometimes even it's really complex connected data. And when connected data matters the most, then the graph databases basically matters also the most. So by saying that, it means that graph databases have proven that perform much better when it comes to the complex and highly connected data. And the reason behind it is because in the graph databases, we do not have the concept of join operations. So when it comes to the connected data in a different location, we do not need to do join operation, and we can just simply go through all those mapping and all those relationships and be able to discover and get more insight from our data in a most faster way. Again, graph databases, they are good for performance. When it comes to flexibility, a graph databases also has been proven that is more flexible. When we talk about flexibility, we mostly are focusing on basically the changes and modifications that you may need to make to your model. And again, because of the schema-free feature that graph databases has, they are more flexible compared to other databases. So you can just simply make the changes, small changes or even big changes, without any dependency and without any requirement for making changes to the whole structure. And for this reason, Again, another feature for graph databases is agility, because in today's world, in today's agile environment, everything is fast and everything is changing really fast. And for the development phases also, is everything's changing fast. So for this reason, having graph databases being adaptive and being flexible is another reason that we should start looking toward this basically model compared to the traditional models. So what we're having here in this slide is basically some of the use cases that are most common and are most suitable for graph databases. We do have telecommunication, we do have master data management, we do have fraud detection, financial services, identity and access management, real-time recommendation engines, and we do also have network and IT operations. So for example, if we just focus on the last use case that I just mentioned, the network and IT operations. So we know that in a network environment and in a network world and maybe IT operation, it always comes different components which all connected to each other and they have dependency on each other. So for example, let's say you are looking to see what is the point of failure of one component, or let's say one device. So in this case, we know that there are different levels involved in this process, and there are different basically components connected to each other. So we need to go and basically find out which one is the point of failure. And when it comes to these use cases, as I mentioned before, since graph is the same structure, so finding this point of failure is much easier, it's much faster and flexible through the graph databases, since you can just go through those relationships and basically discover which was the point of failure or what component was causing the issue. So some of the great use cases that, it is really suitable, and they are really good fit for the graph databases. So what we're seeing in this slide is a diagram which is focusing on the scalability when it comes to the different model of databases. So people normally tend to think that relational databases has a better scalability and can perform better when it comes to the size. And at the same time, we know that when it comes to the complexity, graph databases basically scale better and they have a better scalability. So by saying that, the point is that if you have a multi-model database, you can basically have a better scalability when it comes to the size, also when it comes to the complexity. And this is why AGE is a good fit in this case. So what AGE basically is offering a graph extension on top of the relational database PostgreSQL. So in this case, it will give you the ability to have a relational database and also a graph database at the same time. And also some of other features of AGE, such as supporting the JSON structure and also supporting the key value structure, will give you more and more features and basically flexibility when it comes to data modeling and when it comes to managing your data. So this is why this project was introduced as a new generation of multi-model graph database for the modern complex data environment. So as I mentioned, Apache AGE is a multi-model database designed to be simple and user-friendly, which supports the relational and graph data model at the same time, and enables the user to integrate their legacy and their old relational data model to basically with a flexible graph data model all in one database. And also, since AGE is based on the powerful PostgreSQL database, it is very robust and fully featured, and it basically supports all the functionality of PostgreSQL. At the same time, AGE is optimized for handling complex connected graph data and provides a powerful database feature essential to the database environment, such as asset transaction, such as stored procedure, triggers, sophisticated monitoring, and also it has a flexible, basically, data model. So if you're wondering, in case, what AGE stands for, basically AGE stands for a graph extension. And what you're seeing here, the link here, which I'm pointing out to, it's our basically Apache AGE website, which has lots of good information regarding this project. So I will highly recommend you and encourage you to check out this website and to learn more about this project. And again, feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions. Now, let's a little bit talk about why we decided to start this project and why we decided to develop this project. As always, there's a need when something gets developed and when an idea came basically to the development. So the need in this case was a strong need for a cohesive, easy to implement multi-model database. So basically Apache AGE was introducing a Postgres extension with all the support of the functionalities of a Postgres. And in addition to it, it was offering a graph model on top of it. So it was giving the user the ability to basically have a graph model on top of their existing relational model and use it as an extension with a minimal effort because they could just use existing data without migration and have a graph database on top of it. So the initial idea that was basically was the point of start of this project came from the users of basically Agents Graph. And Agents Graph basically was what is a multi-model graph database, but Agents Graph was a fork of the Postgres and not an extension. And this project was released in 2017, and it has its own community. But after sometimes users started asking for an extension of a Postgres instead of the fork. So people started sending us inquiries and asking us to see if it's possible to make Agents Graph a standard extension of Postgres. So it was then and when our team started to thinking about this idea, and they started it to do their research and see how we can start to unfork from Postgres and to become an extension of a Postgres instead. And again, the main reason behind it was to give our user a graph database along with their existing relational database with the minimum effort of migration, and basically eliminate that effort as possible as we could. And if you move on to the next slide, it was back in July 2019 in a PG Vision conference in Boston that our team announced that we are planning to release the beta version basically in the first half of 2020. And after that, we did basically release the alpha version of this project, AGE project, in March 2020. And it was back then that we decided to donate this project to the Apache community. And the logic behind it was that because this inquiries and this needs came from the users, we just wanted it to give it back to the community and to just be a part of the Apache community. So after that, we donated the project to Apache, and basically the Apache started managing the AGE, and AGE now belongs to the Apache. Some of the features that basically AGE is supporting as it's offering to its user. So AGE is a full graph data process, and it has the capability to basically give every features of the graph databases. And the reason is because it was implemented by all the features of the OpenCipher, which is the most widely used graph query language among the graph databases. And it also supports basically the graph query language standardization. And as I mentioned before, by using AGE as a Postgres extension, the user do not need to migrate their data to utilize graph model on the existing relational data. And they could just simply enable that extension and use it. And also another capability and feature that is offering, AGE is offering to its user is that the extension edition also will support multiple versions of the PostgreSQL immediately. And basically it will eliminate the maintenance for this versioning. So that was another thing that our team thought about it when developing this basically project. And also right now the Apache AGE project is being actively developed and accepts new committers. So we're gonna go through how to become a committer. So if you're interested, we will be happy to see you as are basically committers in our team. And what are you seeing here basically is the status page of the Incubator project under the Apache communities. Incubator project because basically are the projects that are in the incubation process right now, meaning that they are developing their open source project and they are developing it, and also they are growing their community. So it takes time. There are different steps going on when you want to become a top-level project of the Apache. So AGE, as you can see, is one of them right now. So right now, as I mentioned, we are developing AGE and we are growing our community, and we are aiming for the next level, which is graduating as a top-level project of Apache. So when I say top-level project, it means you need some sort of qualification, which we are working toward it, and we achieved some of them, and other ones are in the progress. So to give you a better idea of what is a top-level project, so we do have some of the, I did put some of the examples of the top-level project that are out there in this slide. So as you can see, Google Apache Beam was one of the top-level project that graduated basically from the Apache Foundation. We do have like a Couchbase, Adobe, DataStax, Splunk, and all other projects that was incubating before. And after sometimes they grow their community, they develop their code, and they graduated as a top-level project. So AGE basically also is aiming for that. And what you're seeing in this slide basically is our journey from day one, how this project started it, and where are we today. So as I mentioned, we started this project, and then we proposed this project to the Apache. We had to go through the different steps, such as finding a sponsor, finding a mentor from the Apache community. So we completed all the steps, and after that, the community, we called for a vote, and community voted for this project to become a part of the Apache Software Foundation, and we passed. And right now, we are part of the community, and we are in the phase basically 2 in this slide, as you can see, incubating. And we are working toward the next steps, which in this case will be top-level project. Along this way, we did have lots of people, lots of supporters. We did have a great champion, Jim, which is a co-founder at Apache. Kevin, which helped us a lot through this process, is one of our main mentors. We as well. Our other mentors, Juan Gosling, Felix, Rafael, and we do also get some other support basically from the external mentors such as Dave Fisher, which is a director of Apache as well. So great people, great expert in this matter, which help us through this project and still helping us, supporting us. And these are just the name of some of the basically internal committers and external committers, as you can see here. We do have lots of new contributors to this project, which are basically, they are aiming to become a committers as well. So we are working hard and through the next steps. So now that you know more about Apache and the background of this project, let's a little bit focus basically on the AGE architecture. So what you're seeing in this slide is basically the architecture of AGE and what's going on basically as an internal logic and what's going on at the back end of this project. So as you can see in this, Apache architecture has 4 core components. And at the end, we do have the storage, the PostgreSQL storage at the bottom of this architecture. And also the transaction and cache layer is part of this architecture as well. So let's go take a look at each basically level and each phase and see what's going on over there. So our basically top phase and top level is our query parsing, which is basically for, it's a parses cipher queries and by a function call that uses a parser following the OpenCipher standard. So this is what this layer is doing. If we go to the next phase, we do have a queries transform phase, which transforms a cipher query into a query tree. And also, if we do go to the next phase, we do have a planner and optimizer, which understands some graph operation, and basically produces plan nodes that are related to the graph operations. And if we go to the next phase, we have the executor phase, which executes plan nodes that are related to the graph operations. And at the end, as I mentioned before, we do have the transaction and cache layer, which cipher queries, in this case, works with the Postgres existing fully transactional system or ACID, as we mentioned before. And at the end, again, you see the storage, which is a PostgreSQL storage. So this was a really high-level overview of the AGE architecture and the logic behind it and what's going on. So next, let's take a look at the Apache AGE roadmap and see, what are on our plan and what are we working on and what are we planning for our future. So in this section, we divided it to 2 parts. We have a front end section and we have a back end section. For the front end, what we're thinking about, what we're planning is basically to have a graph visualization and also a business intelligence dashboard for the Apache AGE. So we would like to give the user the ability to be able to visualize their graph data and also at the same time their table data. We are planning to have ETL tools for the data ingestion. So ingesting data from other basically databases is the goal of this ETL. We're also looking for the object graph mapper to support GraphQL and Spring data, and also for SparkQL compatibility as well. From the data analytic perspective, we are looking for analytic frameworks. We are planning for high-level analytics API, machine learning frameworks. And from the backend perspective, if we want to talk about, we are looking for the distributed graph. We are looking to expand the multi-graph feature, meaning that being able to basically fetch and query from multiple graph. And also we are looking to expand and enhance the HA feature, a high availability feature for Apache AGE, and also to implement and to basically develop the PL/PG/SQL and AGE Cipher and PL Python, which are the procedural languages which can help to write basically functions in this case. And also it is on our roadmap to have AGE CLI wrapper, and we are working toward it, and this is our basically plan. And at the same time, so one thing I just wanted to note it, as you can see here, AGE function as both a database and also a graph process engine. So something keep in mind, when working with the Apache AGE. Now that you know better about Apache AGE, what it does and what it do, let's see what are some of the advantages of Apache AGE. So as I mentioned, Apache AGE is a part of the basically Apache community, and it belongs to the Apache Foundation software. And for this reason, it gets the full support and mentorship of the Apache community. At the same time, because it's an extension of Postgres, we do also get the support of the Postgres community as well. So lots of great support over there with the great expert and highly skilled people. So we are really happy to have, all this basically capability. Another advantages when it comes to the Apache AGE is the ease adoption and system migration to graph database for Postgres user. So again, our goal was to eliminate the migration effort and to make it as much as user-friendly it could be. Apache AGE also supports multiple versions of PostgreSQL that clients may already be using. It leverages third-party developers and the PostgreSQL community. Has better support for other Postgres extensions. So if you're using other Postgres extension, you can simply just enable this extension as well, and then you'll be good to go. And you can just use the features of this extension as well. And the unique feature also of the Apache AGE is the multi-graph queries, which no other OpenCipher graph database is currently supporting this. So this is a great and unique feature which you can use. Also, the ability to adapt to other graph query languages such as Gremlin and GraphQL is another advantages of using Apache AGE. Also, the quicker support of new feature, performance improvement, and bug fixes from the Postgres, since it's an extension of Postgres, will be another advantages when it comes to the Apache AGE. So lots of good advantages and benefits over there, and you can, take advantage of it and use it, and to be able to have a better experience and more user-friendly environment when it comes to the graph databases and relational databases. Now, let's take a look at some of the challenges that Apache AGE can solve for you. So one of the challenges that we have seen in past, it was that there were some use cases and there were some needs that user had when they needed to use different basically data models. So when they use different data models or with different databases, one of the challenges was that they could not basically query the two models at the same time. So that was this is a really actually important challenge, and maybe kind of serious challenge. And what basically Apache AGE is offering in this case, and the way that it's solving this problem, is by offering the hybrid query. So it gives its user the ability to be able to write hybrid queries and fetch from both models at the same time. So for example, if you have relational data, which is modeled in a table format, and you do have graph data, which is in a graph format, by using Apache AGE, you are able to write a hybrid query, having SQL and Cypher as one query, and to be able to fetch at the same time. So let's go more detail a little bit, and let's take a look at the first one. So if we take a look at the first example that we have here, so if you're in SQL, you can see that we do have the inner query, which is a Cypher query, and we are querying from the graph data model. And at the same time, we do have our outer query, which is a SQL query. So what we're doing here, we are running this inner query, we are getting the result, and we are plugging in that result into an outer query, and then we are fetching from the basically relational data as well. So first we are fetching from here, and then from here, and we are getting the result at the same time. So again, great feature. It's really user-friendly and giving a lot of flexibility when it comes to the multi-model basically structures. So I would recommend you to check this out. It's a really great feature and a unique feature which is only supported in Apache AGE. Another challenges that we saw people had in the past was that they were mostly they've been challenged and had complaints regarding the multi-graphs, because before they were not able to basically query multiple graph at the same time. And what Apache AGE is offering at this point is giving this ability and capability to the user to be able to basically query multiple graph at the same time. So if you take a look at what example we have here, basically it's related to the healthcare domain. And what we're looking in this query, we're looking to find all long-term services and support claims that the doctor has. And just to let you know, all this information that we're looking for, the term services and support, are all like separated in a different graph. So if you think about it, like obviously provider graph, it's better to be separated than the claims graph. So what AGE is offering here is giving you the ability to be able to separate your data in a different graph, to have like a segregation maybe of duty and segregation of data, and to be able to fetch and query at the same time from both graphs. So you can structure it, and you can at the same time, you can use them basically and query them at the same time. So again, this one is a really great feature, and it solved lots of challenges that we saw before our user had. So check this out as well. Now, let's talk a little bit about the AGE development timeline, which we had in 2020, and also we have in 2021. We did complete all these features that we were planning for, and we are basically aiming, and we are working toward this basically feature, which is a VLEF support, PostgreSQL support, Java driver support, and label inheritance, and also delete and merge clause that we are working on it, and should be available soon. And at the end, I just wanted to share some links with you, and to give you more information and how to contribute to the Apache project. As I mentioned, it's an open source project. Everyone's welcome to contribute. Everyone's welcome to, become a committer of this project. And you can find more information through this link. I will share this link as well with you. But if you're interested, please check this out. Again, this is our website as well. You can go ahead and check this website out. Great information. You can find all the links on the website as well. But if you're interested, download the Apache AGE and test it out. Let us know what you think. Give us feedback. And also go ahead, look at our documentation. Great documentation. It has a step-to-step instruction on how to get started on it. And again, please join us, and we'll be happy to see you. Just for your convenience, and to give you more information about what are we doing, and what is Apache goal, basically, I put more information regarding the top-level project of Apache. So check it out, see what Apache is also offering, and see what other projects are available as well. And again, you're more than welcome to get back to us with any questions that you have. And also, I wanted to share more links regarding the Apache with you. Again, these are all open source projects, so it's always great to give back to the community by joining and contributing to this project as a developer. So feel free to go ahead, check out these links. This is the link of some of the Apache incubating projects that are in the incubation process right now, such as AGE. So check it out. Check it out, how to contribute, how to start an Apache, and how to become a member of this community. And one more thing I want to mention, that this is our public Slack channel for the Apache AGE. It's an active channel. We do actively post news about the Apache AGE. And we do also, talk about our activities, what are we doing with this project. So it has a great information, it's active. So join us, you can learn more about it, and you can also, contribute to the discussion. We would, again, love to have you on that channel as well. And before we, break out for the Q&A section, I just want to thank you all for being here today. And for your time as well. It was our pleasure to have you. and hopefully we will talk soon in the near future. I hope you all have a great day, and goodbye.